Celia Ann Mattie Blaylock was a lady of the night and the partner of Wyatt Earp, a notable figure of the Wild West, particularly known for his role in the famous 1881 gunfight at the OK Corral in Tombstone, Arizona. A good deal of what's been told about Blaylock and her life has become the stuff of legend, and after her untimely passing, she became a somewhat concealed part of Earp's history, being counted among his 4 wives. Celia Ann Mattie Blaylock came into this world around 1850, born into a devout family in Iowa. She was the 3rd child of Henry and Elizabeth Blaylock, and there were 6 children in the Blaylock clan. According to the 1860 census, young Celia attended local schools, indicating she had some formal education. Around the tender age of 16, Mattie made a fateful decision to leave her family's farm in Iowa, setting out westward with her younger sister, Sarah. The exact reasons behind their departure from home remain somewhat shrouded in mystery, but historians have speculated that perhaps the sisters didn't find life on their parents' farm to their liking and chose a different path. However, it's worth noting that Sarah returned home to Iowa less than a year later. Though her family took her back in, they viewed her as disgraced and fallen. As for Celia, she may have sought employment as a seamstress or similar skilled trades, given her expertise in that field. The exact moment she adopted the name Mattie is uncertain, but it's reasonable to assume that she may have taken on this alias when she began working as a prostitute. In the historical records, Mattie's presence wasn't noted in the 1870 census, but in 1871, she posed for a photograph in Fort Scott, Kansas. She eventually found her way to Dodge City, Kansas. Some past researchers who delved into Mattie's life have pointed to court records from this period that mention her involvement in prostitution under the names Celie or Sally. It was during this time in Dodge City that she crossed paths with Wyatt Earp. Earp had previously wed a woman named Urilla, sometimes spelled Orilla Sutherland, in 1870. But tragically, she succumbed to typhoid fever before the couple could mark their first wedding anniversary. After Urilla's passing, historians have debated how Earp spent his time. Some contend that he spent considerable time hunting, while others argue that he frequented less savory establishments of the era, including brothels. What is clear, however, is that he was arrested in a brothel raid in 1872, and this wasn't his first brush with the law. Around 1875, Earp joined the Wichita City Police Force after assisting an officer in searching for a missing wagon. He continued his law enforcement career in Dodge City, where he and Mattie spent the next few years together. In 1879, the couple made a move from Kansas to Tombstone, Arizona. Mattie was recognized as Wyatt Earp's common-law wife, and in the 1880 census, the records listed her as Mattie Earp, the wife of Wyatt Earp. Nevertheless, there is no official legal record of a marriage between the two. At that point, Mattie's occupation was noted as keeping house in the census records. Following Wyatt Earp's well-known gunfight at the OK Corral, he departed from Tombstone, Arizona. Mattie also left the area and reportedly journeyed to California alongside other members of the Earp family. Legend has it that she never heard from Wyatt again. Around 1882, Wyatt Earp crossed paths with another woman, Josephine Sadie Marcus, and the two remained together for the rest of his life. Meanwhile, Mattie eventually returned to Arizona, where she spent her remaining years working as a prostitute. Sadly, the conclusion of Mattie's story is a somber one. She passed away on July 3, 1888, at approximately 38 years old. The coroner's report indicated that she had died from supposed suicide by opium poisoning. Her life was marked by challenges and uncertainties, and her final days were tragically marred by this untimely end. It appears that Mattie's death was the result of an overdose, likely intentional, involving laudanum and alcohol. Historians have noted that she had begun using laudanum to alleviate headaches earlier in her life and was also known to have issues with alcohol. It's possible that she became dependent on these substances and lost control over their consumption. Mattie Blaylock Earp was laid to rest in the Pinal Cemetery located in Pinal, Arizona. Her life remains shrouded in mystery and ambiguity due to the scarcity of documented information about her. Some researchers have suggested that Josephine Earp, Wyatt Earp's fourth and final common-law wife, may have worked to keep her husband's past with Mattie a secret. In the past, Mattie's grave was unmarked. However, in 2009, the Tonto National Forest, in collaboration with local residents and preservation organizations, initiated efforts to preserve the historic cemetery, provide historical context, and update grave markers. Today, visitors have the opportunity to travel to the ghost town of Pinal, near Superior, Arizona, and pay their respects at Mattie's marked grave within the historic cemetery.